Hello and welcome to One Storyteller, where Andrew's going to tell us why this is his favorite chapter.
It's really good. And I am Andrew.
That's excellent. I'm not real. So we're in Two Towers, chapter 6, The King of the Golden Hall, which is, spoiler alert, Theoden. Hey, when I was a kid and I didn't know how accent marks worked, I thought he was Theoden.
He's the Odin.
Not my fault.
Hey, that's kind of cool.
One time I read through Lord of the Rings and my family asked me what I thought about Sauron or something, and I didn't know who Sauron was because I didn't think that was how it was pronounced.
Sauron.
They all mock me to this day.
That is funny.
Get over it, sibling of mine.
What did you call him?
I don't even remember.
Probably Sauron.
Sauron? Something like that.
Yeah.
Sauron from the Mass Effect games, which are not very good.
I can't laugh because when I was reading the Percy Jackson books, I saw the word Poseidon.
Poseidon.
And I said Postodon.
That's my favorite dinosaur. So, yeah, pronunciations are a thing. So,
yeah. It's worse when you're homeschooled.
Homeschooled, and I was young. I was like 8
Yeah.
9.
No, that's what happens.
Crazy family, man.
Chimeras, all that.
Oh my goodness, don't even. So Theoden. Oh my goodness. I better not mess myself up for this chapter.
I will laugh.
It's so bad. It's so wrong. So they ride for a while. This is Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and Gandalf, or as my notes call them, ALG plus G.
Nice.
ALG squared.
AL
plus
double G.
G squared. Alg. It's like algae.
It is.
Yeah, literally.
All right.
So they're riding for a while.
Yes.
And they take a break overnight, and then they get up and ride again. Or do they just keep going?
They stop for a little while.
A little bit.
Like 4 hours or something like that?
Yep. And then they get up and start going again. They're going to get to Edoras, which is the Golden Hall, I guess, or the town around the
city,
Golden Hall. Yeah. The Golden Hall has a technical name.
Medusa. It does sort of look like that.
Medusa is the Golden Hall. So we call it Edoras because it's a better name. They get near the city. They travel a while. They see it. Gandalf says, "This is Edoras. We need to go talk to Theoden." I said it right. That's so cool. I had to think about it. And then as they're getting near, Aragorn starts a little chant.
Yes.
It's a cool chant.
It is. Oh, my favorite songs in Lord of the Rings are either the Song of Durin or this song. Though some of the Lothlorien songs are great too.
They are interesting.
But this song is, it's so good.
What is so good about this? Because this is given to us in English, translated from the Rohirric tongue, whatever that is.
Yes.
I mean, it's the local Rohan language, whatever.
Yeah. Luckily, it seems like it might have been originally English because it flows really well.
It goes rhyme pretty nicely.
It's crazy. Crazy how that works. Well, okay. I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent, I guess.
By all means.
But,
that's what we're here for.
And the writers of Rohan
chapter somehow.
in the writers of Rohan chapter, we are introduced to our first Rohirrim.
Yes.
And Aragorn rather begins talking to Legolas and Gimli about this culture and then we see talking to Éomer how they're honorable, but they're warriors. Strikingly, Éomer bends the law, which is sort of unusual, I think, compared to the rest of his men.
Yeah.
Because he sends them away before he does that officially.
Yeah.
As he bends the law to do what he thinks is right, even though it's technically against the current law, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
We're going to see another striking example of that in this chapter.
Mm-hmm. That comes up, and even that instance comes up a little bit later on.
Yes.
Well. It gets mentioned.
So we're being introduced to the Rohirrim. But this chapter does it so beautifully. And it's not all like abstract lore dump like a Shadow of the Past,
Yes.
which is a cool chapter, but sort of bloated.
It's a little hefty right at the
But
beginning.
here, it's all like beautifully integrated with Theoden himself, who Rohan is sort of like the old man of Middle Earth, or the sick man of Middle Earth. I mean,
Yeah.
They're gonna find out they're stronger than they realize, but their problem is sort of thinking they're outmatched, and that's especially Theoden's perspective on current events. All that to say, this song is about lost glory. We used to have, the implication is you're asking where all these things were because you don't have them anymore, right? Where's the horse and the rider? Where's the blowing horn? Where's our armor and weapons? The bright hair, and even the times of peace, the times of good peace with music, warm fire, spring and harvest.
Yeah.
And just hauntingly, the end of the song is they have gone down into the west, which is striking, right? All things find their fulfillment in the west. But there's a negative connotation because it's gone down to the west, behind the hills and the shadow. Like, these bright things have passed away, just like the sun has passed away, and we're left here in the darkness.
Yeah.
Kind of cool song about past glory, but it's really depressing given current events and given Theoden's state, as we'll see.
Yes.
Because they can't gather or regather their past glory, or that's especially Theoden's fear, right? We see shadows that it's his fear, and like later beyond this chapter, we'll see it's definitely his fear.
Okay.
But in Fangorn, Legolas said, "This forest is so old, it almost makes me feel young, almost." But here, Legolas says, "Bro, this country is only 500 years old." And Aragorn says, "Yeah, but that's plenty of time for men." So there's a neat contrast there. Like, we've seen elf and dwarf nostalgia, and now we're being introduced to the human nostalgia.
Yeah.
Which has its unique flavor and intent.
Which is better than the elf
It's really good. We spend more time with it.
Yeah.
We spend more time with it.
Good. As we should. Legolas, I do like the mention that I don't know what it means, but I know it's sad.
Yeah. Because you can't tell that sort of thing. Yeah.
Very cool. They pull up to the gates of the Edoras. I guess. They start to talk in Rohirric. Is it Rohirric? That's what I call it.
It's close.
The tongue of the Rittermark.
Yes.
I feel like I've seen it written as Rohirric somewhere.
I think that's probably right. I don't recall exactly.
They're speaking in that instead of in English, or the common tongue.
Yes. Where have we seen that before?
The elves.
With the Lothlorien elves.
Yeah.
It wasn't so great a sign.
Yeah, because Lothlorien's bad. But here,
this is still bad.
Cool. No, the Rohirrim are dope.
But
I like them.
Be consistent. This is
I
a
am
neat
consistent.
Pattern. This is a good pattern.
I hate the elves. That's my consistency.
That's the wrong kind of consistency.
Oh, but it's funny.
No. This is a sign that they have cut themselves off from the rest of the world.
Yes.
Which we saw hints at before talking to Aemir, but just like the most negative thing about Lorien was like was betrayed in their only knowing their own language, right? It's like we don't get out, we don't attend to the needs of others, we don't explore, we're stuck here instead of going to the west. All that is like symbolized and realized in only knowing their language.
Yeah.
And the Rohirrim are sort of backsliding into that. It's also very inhospitable.
Yeah, and it's not as specific as they don't know the common language, but they've been kind of banned from using it.
Yes.
almost by Theoden.
It's a very xenophobic move.
Not very based.
No.
So Theoden has told them to basically ban everyone who is not actively a friend of the Rittermark of their whole area, which is unusual. It's not like you would openly welcome enemies most times.
No.
But no acquaintances, no passersby, nobody else is allowed in anymore, which is unusual for the people of Rohan. And of course, Gandalf says, like, what? Aragorn asks, what happened to Éomer? Didn't he like tell you guys what was up? And
we've not heard about this.
Yeah, well, it's not. I don't think it's we've not heard about this, but it is. I'm not going to say anything about this because we find out later Éomer's been imprisoned.
That's certainly true.
For
yes.
what he did, and so I feel like they know, but it's not like there's no positive connotation there for what they should be doing. But Theoden has been, oh my goodness,
that's acceptable.
Has sent word out to the guards at the gate, but he didn't do it himself. He sent his friend called Wormtongue to go and do it.
Yes.
Which we got to talk about the name Wormtongue.
Yeah.
Why are they trusting a man whose name is Wormtongue?
Well, I think
whose title is.
Yeah. It's one of Tolkien's subtleties, right? So.
Yes, it's subtle.
But he does address it. Gandalf says, Grima, who everyone else but you calls Wormtongue. Like, they know he's sort of a sleazy, persuasive guy. Even if they don't know the extent of his corruption, no one really likes Wormtongue. That's why they call him Wormtongue.
Okay, so that is the colloquial name.
Yeah.
But Theoden does not use it?
No.
Is that what is said later?
No, he always, at least in this chapter, he predominantly calls him Grima.
True.
Yeah.
Interesting. I did not catch on to that.
Yeah.
Well, very silly. Very silly. So most of the people don't like him.
No.
But he's the primary counselor.
Yeah, he still has the king's favor and trust.
Yes. And that's not going to age very well.
No.
Nor is it going to last very long.
No.
Which is my main complaint with this chapter.
Right.
But
well, and I appreciate the point. It's sort of like what we said when talking about like Treebeard as well, I think. If this was a story predominantly about like Theoden and Éomer, this would be unacceptable.
Yeah.
But we're following characters who are jumping into other people's stories.
Yes.
And I think is forgivable and maybe even very beneficial to come at pivot points.
Yes, I understand that. It just
and
kind
like in this case more than the previous chapter, our main companions, the Alg, are here and they cause the change.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Although there were a couple of mentions, I think, in the last chapter that Merry and Pippin were the rocks that started the avalanche, etc., etc.
So, but it's much more clear here. Yeah.
Yes. So there is that. It's also just not a very. We'll just get to it. I just don't really like how it's written out and displayed.
No, we'll talk about it. We'll disagree about it.
A little lame, but
lame.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we said we'd wait. All right. So yes, they head from the gates of Edoras up the hill and enter the Golden Hall, Meduseld.
Yes. Well.
Wait.
Wormtongue took out the command from the king, and he only did it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And Aragorn only met Éomer 2 days ago. So it feels like that's a response to Éomer slaughtering all the orcs.
Yeah.
I would guess is that Wormtongue has kind of.
That's a good catch. I hadn't thought about it.
Further cut Rohan off.
Probably.
Something.
Yeah,
like
I bet
that.
that's what's happening.
But of course, it's not like Wormtongue and Isengard would be working closely.
No.
That would never happen. So I guess we'll get there too. So they are let in. Sorry, you go ahead with whatever you were.
Well, I realized they jumped the gun.
Well, there aren't any guns in Middle Earth, so
you know what?
you're safe.
They meet.
How much cooler would it be if Sauron did
No.
have cannons?
Build the super cannon.
All I'm saying is, I know the whole Helm's Deep bombs blowing up the wall is a little silly.
What that
Is that
happens
in the
the
book?
Yeah,
That's wild. I love it.
yeah, that happens in the book.
Oh, interesting. I have not read Helm's Deep in a long time.
Yeah,
I haven't read these books in a long time. The more I read these books, the more I'm like, it's been over a decade, and I don't remember like any of the specifics of this.
you gotta read them like once a year, like me.
I might.
Maybe. Well, I jumped the gun. Hama, the door warden,
Yes.
and his guards
Yes.
say, "You can't bring any weapons here. This is the command from Wormtongue."
Yes.
Technically, he says the king, I think, but we all know who's pulling the strings. What do you think about this whole episode?
Interesting. Very
This-
personable.
Yeah.
Each of them
Oh,
are
yeah, Hama's
different
great.
and unique.
Yeah.
I like Hama. He's cool.
Oh, he is so good.
Good guy. Good guy.
Yeah.
You're making a sad face. Does he die later? Probably.
Maybe.
Probably. Great guy though.
Yeah. So Legolas readily surrenders his.
Yep.
Aragorn
With a note of, Lothlorien gave this to me.
Hammer's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
He's
Huh.
much more respectful about it than even Amber was.
Yeah. Well, he's not as offensive as Éomer
Yeah,
might be. Yeah. So I don't know what that comes from, but I appreciate that.
He is a personable fellow.
Yeah.
Aragorn. This part used to bother me more.
Mhm.
It still sort of bothers me as it seems sort of obtuse of Aragorn to not surrender his blade and
Yes.
sort of imply whoever touches the sword will die.
Mhm.
But they are in like a honor warrior culture. But it's a symbol of his kingship.
Yes.
But it's just a symbol, right? It
Mhm.
seems like he's getting too worked up.
Yeah, well, it is right. It's the only he doesn't have a crown to wear. He doesn't have an official entourage. All he has is the sword of his ancestor, which is the sign of his authority. And so he kind of makes a big deal out of it because he is the heir of Gondor and he should be treated with the respect that a king should merit, but instead Theoden's trying to like strip away anything that he has.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think you should walk into another king's domain and like make a big deal about it.
No,
But it also makes sense as to why he would
I think it makes
want
sense.
to retain it.
It seems sort of short-sighted.
Yeah.
Especially like in the Riders of Rohan chapter, he's the one who talked down Legolas and Gimli.
Yeah.
Over their, I guess mostly Gimli, over their fence toward Galadriel.
Mhm.
This seems sort of.
That's a lot
flipped.
more personal for him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I just
I
wish
don't know
that didn't
about
make
that.
such a big difference.
Yeah.
Gimli's also reluctant, even though he does not have any right to be.
yeah. Well, he's just funny like
No.
that.
He is. And then we come to Gandalf.
He looked darkly up at the guard as if he were a young tree that Gimli had a mind to fell.
Yeah. Don't mess with dwarves.
Thankfully nothing happens. Gandalf shows up and he gives him the sword.
Yeah.
There was a specific command that even the staffs must be left.
Yes. I think Grima knows what he's trying to do.
Yeah. Well, I think that would be according to anybody, just like even
Well,
a traveler
I
with a
don't
walking
think so.
stick.
They don't know Gandalf died until
True.
somewhat recently.
True.
Well, maybe. I kind of get the sense that it's like, don't want a wizard to have a staff.
Yeah.
But maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe
No,
not.
it is especially a wizard thing, but it would be even if Aragorn just had a walking stick.
Well,
it
yeah,
would-
it was-
that
yeah.
would be banned as
But
well.
it's because of a suspicion toward Gandalf, I
Yes.
suspect.
Yes. But of course, Gandalf does the whole, like, I am an old person bit.
Yes.
And it
which is
works.
a bit. And I think it's neat because I think Tolkien's clear, like, Hama isn't deceived by this,
No.
but he's subtly choosing to bend the law.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of like a bigger crisis point than Éomer in a way. This door warden says, well, I decided to trust Gandalf more than my king right now.
Yeah.
Which is really neat.
Well, in doubt, a man of worth will trust his own wisdom.
Yeah.
That's a good line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we just get a little bit of time with Hama, but he's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows Gandalf's up to something, and he decides to go along with it.
Yeah.
Which is a neat leap of faith.
Yeah, because you are honorable, and you're not going to do something evil.
Yeah.
Like you are going to do something, but it's not going to be bad. And so I think it's probably good for you.
It's a beautiful
go and
moment.
do that. Very cool. For a guy who only has like 5 lines of dialogue, I like him.
Yes.
He's very cool. And I'm pretty sure in Lego Lord of the Rings you can play as Hama.
You can.
You can play as like Éomer and Theoden, and Hama is the basic Rohan guy.
There's another guy,
Cool.
but yeah, Hama, yes.
You can probably play as Wormtongue, but I don't
Oh yeah, certainly.
remember.
Yeah.
That's a great game. Anyway, so they go in.
Yep.
They go into the drinking hall, which is the, I guess, throne room of Theoden, basically. It is interesting to just see their culture.
Yeah.
Because it is very Saxon,
Yes.
Anglo-Saxon, instead of like
Certainly.
they don't have cool castles and stuff. He has a hall where people go and feast,
Yeah.
and that's his throne room. I
It's
like that.
yeah, even the Gondorians and they coming from the Numenorians are all like very elven, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's neat seeing these different cultures, absolutely.
I like Rohan.
Yeah, they're great.
It's the best.
You can't
human
beat
kingdom.
Rohan.
Well, true. I guess they don't they don't really lose anything.
No,
Or
there's,
not
so
anymore.
I have to interrupt here.
By all means.
There's this paragraph right after they enter. It begins with the guards now lifted the heavy bars of the doors.
It's on page 123.
Yeah, page 116.
Mm.
But
23 and 16 look awfully similar.
this is where we start seeing there are a ton. It's not just like this interplay between Theoden and the nation of Rohan. It's also like nature itself is revealing the truth and the struggle going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially things with light are happening in this chapter.
Yes.
This is what
Several
takes the
times over.
chapter to the next level to me. Is he's very carefully crafted all these different pictures and descriptions to augment what's happening.
Yep.
They enter, and they see a visual representation of the song, which is Tolkien draws attention to how dark everything in the hall is.
Yeah.
And we'll see that again when Theoden is described. But everything's dark in here. Like, it's called the Golden Hall, but it sort of feels more like a tomb than a triumphant place for a king.
Yeah.
And that's not by accident. One of the only beams of light that comes through the window falls on a tapestry of Eorl the Young. Eorl.
What a cool guy.
Eorl.
Yeah.
Eorl the Young. And Aragorn mentioned a bit earlier. There's so much being set up here. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Eorl the Young was the first king of Rohan.
Okay.
And he descended from the north, and he rescued Gondor at the last minute with his charge that defeated their enemies who were about to overrun them. And he's like the quintessential king of Rohan. Everyone wants to be as great as him.
Okay.
But everyone agrees he's the greatest.
Cool.
So we go from looking at this tapestry to then a shrunken king who we're going to see feels completely out of his element and that he can't live up to his legacy. Is awesome.
I don't know that that's how I would interpret Theoden, but yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I
generally.
am looking ahead some.
Okay.
I don't know if we see all those elements of Theoden yet.
That's definitely not in this chapter.
Yeah. But, retroactively, it is extremely rich.
Okay.
Because maybe we don't see it here, just like little hints of Theoden having those desires and fears.
Yeah.
But they will be there later.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. These people are disarmed. They're led into the hall.
Yeah.
And they get to see Theoden for the first time. He's old. It seems. I'm not really sure how old it is. but
Yeah, like 60s at the very least.
fair enough. And like messed up as well. He's got scoliosis or or something. He is bent over and very weak and a very long beard and
There's this picture of neglect.
yeah.
He's neglecting himself.
Yeah. Can't stand up without a big staff and stuff. And they see that like he has the frame of someone who used to be really impressive, but he's not anymore.
Yeah.
And it's one of the questions that I have, but
Yeah.
whatever.
We'll talk about it.
He gets up eventually to, I guess it's like the nice thing when somebody comes to dinner and you're sitting down, you like stand up to let them sit down as well. So he does rise up and greet Gandalf, but he specifically says, "You're not welcome here."
Yeah.
I sacrificed a really nice horse to get you out.
He says, "I confess, I was not sad when I heard that Shadowfax had returned without a rider."
Yeah.
And I was still more glad when I heard you had fallen in Moria. There's something to that effect.
I don't think it's that he's when Éomer dropped off news that he had fallen in Moria, he was glad. Turns out, I guess Éomer was wrong because news can be wrong.
Yeah.
But, he wasn't wrong, but, now Gandalf is here again. He doesn't exactly know how to reconcile those two. Definitely not through the resurrection thing because, miracles are crazy like that.
Yep.
He was glad that Shadowfax had come back, but even more that he had come back without a rider on him. Because this was when Gandalf was imprisoned by Saruman and then escaped with Gwaihir. Gwaihir took him to Rohan, and Gandalf borrowed a horse, which was the nicest horse.
Yeah, Theoden was not happy to see him. Then he said, "Take a horse and get out of here." And Gandalf took
the best horse.
Yes.
So
a baller move.
It's quite interesting. So glad that Gandalf is hopefully not staying. Why should I welcome you? Tell me that. And then he sits back down.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to stand up anymore. So there's this whole back and forth now between Gandalf and Theoden, and really Theoden's mouthpiece Wormtongue, where Wormtongue just kind of takes over and starts saying stuff instead.
Yeah.
They use the term Stormcrow a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if is that just generically offensive? Does that have a deeper meaning to it? Because I know he's associated with eagles.
Yeah, well, it is. I think the idea is based on what they say earlier or later, rather.
Yeah.
Like you come on like before the storm. Like you come before bad things happen.
Yeah.
So you're like this. Like crows don't sound beautiful. You're like this nasty cawing sound that's summoning bad things.
True.
Right. I think that's caught up in that title.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
The herald and even perhaps bringer of bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Not just news, bad things.
Is true.
Yeah.
Gandalf does always show up when bad things are about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Gandalf, of course, counters that with like, yes, sure, I could be the one doing evil, or maybe I'm the one who's solving the problem, and I'm just arriving where evil is about to come. Like, I'm coming to help, which is true. He's definitely that kind of person. He's not the doer of evil.
Yeah.
But still, it does mean that if he shows up, things are not going to go well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's the difference. Like, if you see Gandalf coming, and you're like some average Rohirrim guy, your reaction could be, oh no, something bad is going to happen, which is short-sighted. Or
well, it's true.
It's true, but if you stop there, it's not true.
Yeah.
Because you have to take the next step and say, okay, we have help. Should be thankful for that, and now I should get ready to do something.
Yeah.
If you stop at, man, I wish that guy didn't show up, something bad's going to happen. It's infantile. It's immature. foolish.
Well, the bad thing still happens. You just don't have the help there to fix it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so people don't recognize that. I mean, this is very much Gandalf stepping into a god type of role. Usually people complain that God is not going to be there to help you out, or like there's all sorts of problems in your life. Well, yeah, but God is there to help you through the problems, unless you don't want him to be there, and then fine, but you still go through the problems. You don't solve anything by rejecting the one who's going to fix it. You just make it worse for yourself.
Yeah.
And Gandalf very much fills that type of role here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I find it interesting that in this conversation, Gandalf had said earlier, as soon as he heard that Wormtongue had delivered the message to lock them out of the city, Gandalf said, I'm not interested in talking to him. Like, I've got a message for Theoden, not Wormtongue. A lot of the conversation seems to be Gandalf talks to Theoden and then Wormtongue answers, but Gandalf is not giving Wormtongue the time of day at all.
No, it is very much like that. I think it's another... There's apparently some holes here we'll talk about later, but to me it speaks to the tightness of the chapter and like the themes being presented.
Yeah. I really like that aspect of it.
Yeah,
I think it's very
cool.
well done.
And it shows Theoden's incompetence here, which is that's the point we're introduced to him at. It's almost like Gandalf obviously wants to help this king. He wants to help Theoden. But Theoden is surrendering his agency to Wormtongue. Gandalf's giving him the opportunity to speak for himself, and he doesn't take it.
Yeah.
It's like there's something there about being mastered by, well, anything from Satan. Temptation, vice, fear.
Yeah. So I don't know that I would use the term incompetence for Theoden, but it's a picture of him giving up his agency for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not capable, he's just choosing not to respond.
Sure. Well, and that's what we'll see.
To some element, he is not capable.
Yeah. If you're choosing not to respond, you are making yourself incompetent.
Yeah.
Even if you aren't technically incompetent.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True. If you're not willing to engage with with trying to fix the problem, then you are part of the problem. Yes. And so, from that perspective, yes, it is very true. Also, this is the part where the text gets smudged in my book.
Oh, no.
I don't know why. This is terrible.
You can still read it, though?
I can still read it.
Okay, good.
It says...
Gandalf?
What in the world is Gandalf saying?
Okay.
So you have... you have Wormtongue who says... all these people are coming in here, all these beggars, you homeless people. You're the super beggar, Gandalf. And Gandalf says, the courtesy of your hall is somewhat lessened. Which is a great line in response to that. I feel like the characters have a lot more personality in Two Towers than they do in the Fellowship of the Ring.
There's less traveling.
Yes.
There's more breathing room.
Yes.
It takes place over the Fellowship of the Ring, even without the time skip of like Frodo going from 33 to 50.
Yeah.
Even without that, the Fellowship of the Ring is longer than Two Towers and Return of the King chronologically.
Yeah.
Combined.
I like that.
Yeah. So we have more breathing room and we have more time for things like this.
Yes. Despite the complaints that I have about how it is written in the first 6 chapters so far, I have enjoyed this a lot more than I have enjoyed. Definitely the second half of Fellowship of the Ring, but probably the first half as well.
Gotcha.
So you have Gandalf talking past Wormtongue. There's an insult from Wormtongue to Galadriel, which Gimli gets mad about it.
Bro, Wormtongue was about to die, man.
Yeah.
Gimli was about to chuck an axe at that guy.
Well, he doesn't have an axe.
Oh,
he was disarmed. He was still gonna die. I mean.
No, I think Gimli could have taken
it. Totally. Wormtongue is not fit for combat. He's not that kind of guy. And it's at that point that Gandalf starts singing about good stuff in Lothlorien. I think.
Yeah.
And that's the point at which Gandalf kind of steps into, that's the wrong way to say it, steps into his role as the White Wizard,
Yeah.
and casts aside his cloak and turns into the, what?
I know what you're gonna say.
I know. There was no good way to say that. There you go.
No, you found it. Good job.
He becomes, instead of being the old beggar man in the cloak, he becomes the full wizard he's supposed to be, which would be a replacement for, spoiler alert, Grima's employer,
Yes.
Saruman. Gandalf is the better version of him, and so he uses that to kind of scare Wormtongue off.
Yeah.
Why do you think his chant about Lothlorien triggers that? Because those seem to be very closely related.
There's a neat contrast there.
Yeah.
Not contrast, or between Gandalf and Gimli.
Yeah.
We know Gimli loves Lorien and Galadriel and the elves there because he had a powerful transformative experience there.
Yes.
He met forgiveness and understanding from people who were initially and throughout most of his life and the history of his people were prejudiced. And it was in response to his honor and his courtesy, right? So we've already talked a lot about why Gimli values this so much and why he has no patience for people who offend against Lorien.
Yeah.
But I think there's a neat contrast here because Gimli's ready to throw down. But Gandalf, I think we can also see, by comparison, Gandalf is also angered by this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been around and cooperating with Galadriel and people like Elrond longer than Gimli's been alive.
Yeah.
So, however angry Gimli is, I think Gandalf is more angry, but he responds differently.
Yes.
He does.
More maturely.
He doesn't kill Grima,
No.
but he does show, I'm not patient for you. Here's a song about the beauty that you're just like slandering.
Yeah.
And then he pops off.
Mm-hmm.
With the wise speak only of what they know. A witless worm you have become, therefore be silent. I have not passed through fire and death to bandy crooked words with a serving man till the lightning falls. There's not time. I don't have patience to talk with someone who doesn't want to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also, because it's brought up a little later in the chapter, that Wormtongue really loves to call other people liars.
Yes.
When he's the one who's doing it. And
Yeah.
so he does that. The webs of deceit were ever woven in whatever that word is, Dwymerdine.
Yeah, so
I assume is Lothlorien.
yeah, it's the region encompassing
Yeah.
Lothlorien. Yeah.
And so he calls them liars, to which Gandalf responds with a song that reminds you that the elves there are clearer and better thinking than human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the point at which he unmasks and just gets rid of Wormtongue. He doesn't have time for him anymore.
Yeah.
There's this big storm, it seems. The hall gets dark,
Mm-hmm.
which is similar to chapter 2 of the Fellowship of the Ring.
Or
Back with his intimidation of Frodo,
or
with
intimidation
his-
of Bilbo, chapter 1.
or Bilbo. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Or kind of what he just did in chapter 5 with the intimidation
Sort of like that. He
Ouch.
does that against the wolves
Mhm.
before they run into Moria as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So classic Gandalf moment
Yeah.
is stand up very tall, shine very bright, and then he hits Wormtongue with lightning. Or I assume it's just like a flashbang going off in the hall.
It's light
more than
against
it is-
Wormtongue. Yeah.
Yeah. And Wormtongue falls over. I'm just reminded of the best movie ever, which is The Christmas Tree from 1991, made for TV. Incredible film. A great time. Anyway,
Don't listen to him.
where Santa
I'm warning you.
lightnings the main villain at the end of the movie.
Okay.
I feel like it's very similar.
Well, we
As
see
for Wormtongue, he's good now.
he is silent for the rest of the next couple paragraphs.
He made a whole
The last thing
paragraphs
he
and shut
says
up.
is, "Did I not counsel you to forbid his staff?" And then Gandalf's like,
Yeah.
but
And he specifically calls out that Hama has betrayed them when Hama was the one who allowed the staff in to get Wormtongue out of the way
Hama
to free them.
Hama
And so,
did betray Wormtongue.
based. Very cool. If there is someone whose name is Wormtongue, you should probably betray him. I don't know if a nice way to say that, but that's he probably has that name for a reason. So then Gandalf gets to talk to Theoden directly, and Theoden stands up, and he's good now. That's cool.
It's not quite that fast.
It's not quite that fast, but it is just kind of how it happens. We should probably talk about the adaptation of this moment
Yes.
a little bit, because it is different.
A little bit.
I think the adaptation makes more sense to me, because in this, it is Theoden cannot respond to Gandalf. Gandalf throws light at Wormtongue. Wormtongue falls over, and now Theoden can walk normally as soon as somebody tells him he should. And Gandalf does, and then he walks outside and says, it's pretty nice outside. And then he is back to being the king. And now all of his prior...
Oh, but you're skipping over the sequence of things.
Okay, yeah.
You're
No, by
blurring
all
it
means,
together.
walk it through.
The first thing, so Theoden, here's the progression for Theoden's actions, right?
Yes.
First, insult. He's sort of looking over at Grima. Did I say that right? He's like, "You have spoken justly, my lord. Those insults were great."
Got him.
And then he's silent for the next couple pages.
Mm-hmm.
He's letting Wormtongue do all the talking, which is a sign of bad, bad for Theoden. Then, but Theoden is listening, certainly, to what Gandalf is saying against what Wormtongue is saying. Then Gandalf reveals his power.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's two things we can imply, having read the whole chapter, that Theoden notices at this moment.
Yes.
One is, Wormtongue is not dead.
True.
Second is what Gandalf says immediately after revealing the strength of his power, which I think probably Theoden's never really realized before. But it's sort of like a miraculous sign backing up a message. Like, magic exists in Middle-earth, but most people don't see it every day, or maybe even their whole lives.
Yeah.
Theoden's just seen the light, literally, and now he has a choice to respond to it. Grima is smitten down by the light. I think Theoden chooses to listen in this very fateful moment. The thing Gandalf says right after revealing his power is, "Won't you listen to me?" He said, earlier, Theoden said, "We're in trouble, we need help, but it's just you four people." Or I think maybe that's technically what Wormtongue said.
Yeah.
There's darkness all around, again with that visualization, but Gandalf says, "There's light near. Take courage. You're not going to find better help than me." I have not come to counsel people who are clinging to despair, but I am here to give counsel. So, and he rebukes him too. He says, "Too long have you been here in the shadows," right?
Yeah.
You need to listen to new counsel. And so Theoden now takes a leap of faith after hearing all these different things and seeing Gandalf's power unmasked to a greater degree than I think he's ever seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the first step. Like, is it technically sort of sudden? Yes.
Yeah.
But that's how that kind of thing would work, you know? Like, if you're going to make the right choice, it would be like this. But you were also talking about, like, his healing. I think that shows, like, sort of a mental thing for Theoden.
Well, yeah, no. It is a mental thing. The main problem I have with how this is displayed is it doesn't. It's like as soon as Gandalf shows up and pops a little bit of light in the area, Theoden is set to change his mind. His earlier words are very anti-Gandalf.
Yeah.
Very informed by Wormtongue, but there's no like it seems like there's no kind of indecision or struggle on Theoden's part. He is totally aligned with Wormtongue, totally corrupted by Wormtongue, and then as soon as Wormtongue gets hit with the light, Theoden says, "Oh, I'm totally aligned with Gandalf now." And there's no like question back and forth in the rest of the chapter.
Yeah.
And so it feels very, very sudden and very just like
Perhaps we could have benefited from
extreme.
like some description of Theoden struggling or thinking.
Yeah.
But
well,
it feels like I say, I feel like there's a implicit progression there.
yeah. I like the way the adaptation does it because it's much more direct with like Saruman being
Like possessing him.
some kind of demonic influence in his head, which metaphorically that was true, not really literal.
I think
maybe I don't think
maybe.
I
I think there's reasons to believe Wormtongue is a sort of hedge wizard. Like he's not an Astari, but I think Saruman can teach them. Like the ring wraiths were just humans, but they could use magic. They were sorcerers, some of them.
Okay.
So I think
before or after?
before.
Oh.
Some of them were.
Okay.
So I think perhaps Wormtongue has some magical influence.
Okay.
That can maybe explain like why he's in power, even though people hate him so much. And he's certainly bending whatever power he has, which is meager compared to Gandalf.
Yeah.
Whatever power he has, he's bending toward Theoden.
Yeah.
So I think there's some of that, and maybe like Gandalf is using magic. I think maybe he does throw off whatever magical influence.
Yeah.
Grima has.
Yeah, that could be fair. It's clearer in the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too clear, you could argue.
Maybe a little bit too clear.
But
I don't mind that part in the movies too much.
Yeah.
But
I don't mind either. I think it's silly that Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli beat up a bunch of random Rohan guys while it's all happening.
That is excessive. That's stupid.
Silly. That shouldn't happen.
But we do see, I think, Theoden. The magic isn't explicit because it doesn't matter. I think there's probably some magic going on with Grima and
Presumably.
Gandalf throwing it off. But the point is, you're confronted by light.
Yes.
What are you going to do now?
Yes.
And that is going to appear sort of sudden, you know.
Yeah.
And
the real Theoden would have done that.
Mhm.
I don't really buy that. As soon as you knock Wormtongue over, the real Theoden comes back, like immediately, because you haven't seemed to do anything to Theoden, which would imply that this is like a concentration spell that Wormtongue is casting more than it is a spell that he's put, like a poison rooted in Theoden's mind, which is what I feel like is implied in the book.
No, it is.
I don't
overtime
know. That's
thing.
what I would.
Yeah.
That's what I would think about it. So,
Whatever. If Grima has magic, which I don't know how many people think that.
Yeah.
Then it isn't something that's completely eclipsed Theoden. Like Theoden's
Yes.
still in there.
Yes.
It's just like sort of a weaseling influence on Theoden.
Yes.
So Theoden's still capable of choosing, which
Mhm.
is what we see happen. You know.
So,
As regard to like, he's still really old. Like he doesn't stop looking old and decrepit. Like he still has a wrinkled face. He still has a great big white beard.
mhm.
But he stands up and he remembers he's strong.
Mhm.
Gandalf is saying, "You need to be a leader right now." Wormtongue has been saying, "Just hide in here.
Let everybody else do it.
Let everyone else do things."
Mm.
And so Theoden's responding to the need Gandalf is describing
Mhm.
and finding that, oh, I'm better at this than I thought.
Which is good. It's good.
Yeah.
So it's a little quick
I
for
like
me,
it.
for my tastes.
Sure.
Little cloudy in communication for me, but that's fine. I do like the line that Gandalf has. He has nothing to say to those who are despairing, to those who've
Yes.
given up. But I have plenty to say if you want to hear it.
Yes.
That's a great picture.
It is awesome.
And so Theoden listens.
And that's why he doesn't have anything to say to Grima.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's a good point, actually. because Grima has given over to the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
He is the enemy.
But there's still hope for Theoden.
Yeah. So I do like the idea that it was within Theoden the whole time to turn around and choose right, and I'm glad he does. This is where Theoden, after seeing these things, gets rid of his staff because he doesn't need it anymore. He needs to just learn to stand up. He goes and gets a sword eventually, which is cool. We'll talk more about that in just a second. There's this whole section here where Theoden is very willing to immediately go to war against Saruman and go personally. And so that's part of the disconnect of like, I don't see him being hopeless right here. He's very hopeful that they can do something. And even if they can't, they're going to go out swinging. So it's glorious.
Here he is.
Yes.
Earlier, no.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, earlier being overridden by the corruption of Wormtongue. And so I don't know that that's so much him as it is Wormtongue. But I wonder what...
It's him.
Okay.
It's him.
Okay.
I think there's certainly influence there, but it's something he's choosing to adopt. It's not something like being forced on him.
The darkness
entirely.
is being like amplified by Wormtongue. It's like his base thought.
So Saruman's chief magic is he can sort of persuade people. Okay. But if you have enough willpower, you don't have to listen. Like it's magically amplified, but it's still persuasion.
Yeah.
So I would guess Wormtongue's magic would echo that.
Yeah. But like Theoden has these thoughts in the back of his head.
Yes.
And Wormtongue is encouraging those.
I don't think he's not pulling things out of he's not conjuring something that doesn't exist and making it exist.
Yeah.
It's sort of amplifying or deceiving.
Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. Theoden is very strongly on the we can go and fight against this, and so I wonder how that's going to shift in the next few chapters. I guess we'll see.
I think part of it is like it's like the parable of the sower. So like he's just received this seed of hope. And he's like super enthusiastic.
Yeah,
and he's gonna have to deal with some rocky soil before too long.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
which is true.
Yes,
that's about how that's gonna go. So, several things happen here. Eomer shows up, released from prison, somewhat hastily.
The moment Theoden gives an inch, Ham is like, okay, let's do a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah. So it's very cool. It's very nice to see. Eomer, they can't find Theoden's sword at the moment, so Eomer gives him his sword.
That's so good.
Which is really nice. And then Theoden gives it right back, which is an acknowledgement of Eomer's right to rule, basically. His right to be in charge.
Be a marshal, yeah.
Yeah. That Theoden was probably wrong to put him in prison.
Yeah.
And then Theoden goes and hunts down his own sword, which has miraculously just happened to be with a bunch of other stolen items in Wormtongue's chest.
Yep.
Very interesting. Of course, Theoden gave his sword willingly, sort of.
Yeah.
He was advised to give up his sword, and so he did. I don't think the other people were advised to give up their stolen belongings, but they're gone, and Wormtongue just happened to have them all. Probably not a great guy.
There's a neat picture here too. Wormtongue took the sword and gave him a walking stick. Gandalf takes away the walking stick and gives him a sword. Like
Gandalf has both sword and walking stick, but it's not a walking stick.
Wormtongue is trying to make Theoden less capable and more dependent. Don't think. Listen to me. Yeah. We don't have a hope to fight. We should just really insulate ourselves, which of course is setting up free reign for Saruman's forces, right?
Yeah.
But every turn we see is Wormtongue is trying to weaken and take away agency from Theoden. And Theoden is tragically participating in that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm scared. I don't want to deal with this. I guess I will just surrender things to you.
Yes.
Gandalf is trying to empower Theoden.
Yeah.
Like, you are the king. You can lead here.
Yeah.
There's hope to fight. Gandalf has a lot of strong opinions, but he's not trying to dominate Theoden, right?
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. And there's definitely something there about Satan against Jesus, you know?
Absolutely. cool picture. I like Gandalf. Gandalf is a cool guy.
Yes.
You do so. Wormtongue is called back in, and one difference between the adaptation, which I don't really care. I'm sure somebody could. Theoden is instantly anti-Wormtongue in the movie, where and recognizes Wormtongue is a vile creature, basically. Whereas in the book, he's much more willing to trust Wormtongue. And this is not something I got from the movie at all. But
No.
Wormtongue used to be a loyal man of Rohan who has somewhere along the line succumbed to the evil and going after Saruman's things instead.
Yeah.
Doesn't really come across in the film, I don't think,
No.
at all. But Theoden's still willing to kind of extend some benefit of the doubt to him. And so Theoden decides they're all going to ride to war, and he invites Wormtongue to ride to war with them.
Really it's a merciful move. It's a brilliant move by Theoden as well.
Yeah. How so?
So you have a choice. Do you want to choose to be my enemy or choose to be my friend?
Well, I don't think Theoden was intending to do that
Maybe
so
not.
much, because Gandalf ends up saying, you can make this a choice for Wormtongue,
Yeah.
right? You're not going to compel him to go one way or the other.
Maybe even if he hadn't thought it through, it shows
It ends up being
wise and merciful instincts that he does have.
I'm glad he's not immediately vengeful killing spree mode.
And it's just really good, like, narratively, for the contrast between Theoden and Wormtongue in this moment.
Yeah.
He's been given mercy he doesn't deserve.
Yeah.
And then he chooses evil with it.
Yeah. And Wormtongue, like you said, has been doing everything he can to remove Theoden's agency, but Theoden does everything he can to
I didn't even
enable
appreciate that.
Wormtongue's agency.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Gandalf's advice, but he
Yeah.
chooses to do it. Wormtongue basically tries to retain hold over Edoras instead of going to war.
Oh my goodness.
And Theoden
Isn't that
says,
so pathetic?
yeah, Theoden says, no, you get a horse.
Eomer
and you're
immediately
going
sees through
somewhere.
him. He's like, if you go to war, just leave me in charge.
Yeah, we say that's probably not a good idea.
No.
No, all of the men are going to ride. You can either ride with us or you can go wherever you want to.
Yeah.
But if you go wherever you want to, I will kill you the next time I see
Yes.
you.
Oh my goodness.
Is his promise.
So really, the interactions in this chapter, I think, are wonderful.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. If it weren't for the swiftness
You
of
think
that
it's
one
a little
page,
too fast?
I would love this chapter. I think otherwise it's
I can
absolutely
respect
solid.
that.
It's just that one thing. But fantastic. He can judge himself, right? By his own choice, you shall judge him.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic and very biblical.
Yeah, it is.
As you can choose to be saved or you can choose to not be. And that's the choice that God honors. And that's the choice that Theoden honors and Gandalf honors. Of course, Wormtongue does not go to the battle. And he runs away instead.
No.
Coward.
No. And I think it's neat. There's like all these multifaceted comparisons. I guess I'm being redundant right now, but between Theoden and Wormtongue, I mean, because Gandalf confronts them as like, the light is shining, the truth is apparent. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Grima hides and cowers from the light,
Yeah.
but that's the pivotal moment for Theoden to heal himself, or to reach out to a healer, instead of to a deceiver.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't
Once
appreciated
the light flashes, Wormtongue hides his face where Theoden stands up to
Yeah.
it. So, it's very cool and thematic.
Yeah. And then, then like you just said too, like Wormtongue trying to take away agency, and then Theoden being empowered, and then in turn trying to empower Wormtongue.
Yeah.
There's also a neat visual. I said earlier, the Meadowseld, the Golden Hall, is like sort of like a tomb. Like Wormtongue has made it into a tomb for Theoden.
Yeah.
He's not really alive. He's sort of like a zombie just sitting in the chair,
In
not
the
doing
dark.
anything, being eroded with each passing day.
Yeah.
And Gandalf literally goes in and calls him outside, which is when Theoden really starts to come into his own. So this is an actual like subtle sort of resurrection thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome.
It is not so dark out here.
Yes.
Calls him out of his darkness into his marvelous
Yeah.
light.
They do
That's
see like there's darkness and a storm on the horizon, but it's not only dark.
But even as dark as the storm is, it's brighter out in the storm than it is hiding away from the storm in the house. So very cool.
It's a very rich
Very
chapter.
Cool. I like this. I like this part of the chapter.
Yeah.
The rest of the chapter, the last few pages after Wormtongue disappears, you get some generic dialogue reflecting back on that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The squad gets equipped with different pieces of armor for the upcoming battle, like how Legolas has his pauldrons that he never actually wears in the movie. Anyway, that's irrelevant. All of the men are leaving, and so they end up picking Éowyn, who is introduced very, very briefly.
Yes, she's set up, but like we're not. Theoden's the main event in this chapter.
Yeah, she has some kind of respect or admiration for Aragorn, and that's kind of all that we get.
Yeah, it's just a hint for now.
Yeah, sure that'll come in later.
Sure, her gaze lingers on Aragorn. She trembles at his touch.
Yep. Yeah. So you have that's dealt with. So the people have a leader, or the women and children who are left have a leader to take them away to safer places in the mountains. Yeah. You have a whole section where Éomer goes to Gimli and says, "Look, I really still don't understand this whole Galadriel thing, but you want to ride on a horse with me?"
It's awesome.
It's very cool. And they make peace and are very chill about it.
I like how you pivot to Aragorn, Gimli, and Éomer, and it's like this wonderful, bright moment after like the really dramatic and dark moments at the beginning of the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Yeah. And so then, is there anything you have before we get to the very end of the chapter?
Oh, yes. One of the very first things, I'm glad I wrote this down. Like, we can't miss this. Okay.
I think we almost did.
Well, anyway, so one of the first things Theoden says, like he says, it's not so dark out here and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But after hearing everything Gandalf says he has to help participate in, the first thing Theoden says is, what is it? I can't find. Oh yes, alas that these evil days should be mine, which is very similar to what Frodo said when Gandalf laid out what his responsibilities were. Yeah. I think Theoden here is really like one of the darkest pictures of like the home theme. Yeah. Like it's okay to stay home in the Shire for a little bit, right? It's this period of innocence or whatever. The Ents have a duty to protect their home. The elves have done good, even if it's like a mixed bag with staying in Middle Earth and all that.
Yeah.
But for Theoden, it's like you can't just lock your doors and turn your back on the world.
Mm-hmm.
You have a duty. Like you're a king, you need to protect your people. And even if you weren't a king, you have a duty to do what's right. Mm-hmm. Like we've seen with Éomer and Hama, other Rohirrim people.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really neat. Another thing, we'll have to talk about it more when it comes up, when it becomes relevant at different stages. But something that I think Tolkien probably should have spent a little more time talking about is Theoden's son died just a few days ago.
Yes.
And I think that can contribute to his despair.
Understandable.
But the last of these evil days should be mine, but he's not going to back down here.
Yeah.
So there's a similarity to Frodo that's neat to consider.
Truly a great man.
Yeah.
Love this guy. Pretty much everything that he says is like, that's intelligent. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Once he starts thinking and talking, he's good.
He's pretty smart.
Oh my.
I like that. Okay. Anything else before the very last sentence of the chapter?
Before the last yeah.
Oh, by all means.
Before the last sentence of the chapter.
I have one thing left on the last sentence.
Okay. So I guess I'll keep popping off for a little bit.
Sure.
Then.
We're only over an hour.
Yes.
It's fine.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Theoden says, "Don't you want to rest?" He says to Aragorn. Aragorn says, "No, still got work to do," which is like a subtle piece of the home theme, right?
Yeah.
Aragorn's not even going to use a guest house. He's like, "I'm tired, but I have to keep doing my job."
Yeah.
So I think that's neat. No rest for the weary there.
Yeah. And when
Hard pill to swallow.
they assume that Theoden is not going to go to war, but he says, "No, I am going to go to war,"
Yeah.
and so he doesn't have rest either.
So you
He's
can
been
tell
resting
he's
for too
you can
long.
tell he's a wise king. He
Yeah.
was sort of blinding himself on purpose.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think I've mentioned this before. It's just been living in my head. But this whole thing with King Theoden reminds me of the beginning of Proverbs 31. Where it's not for kings to drown their sorrow or to put off good until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Theoden is trying to like become less human, less feeling. He's just acting like a dead person hiding away.
Yeah.
He is trying to drown his sorrow for his squandered opportunities, the death of his son, his fear for the nation.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just making it worse. And it keeps him, I think, in this vicious cycle. It's like, man, I'm being such a bad king right now. I don't want to confront that reality. So he keeps being a bad king.
Yeah.
But
Galadriel did say that Aragorn would have to go see the dead people who watch the road to the sea. Theoden is the first
That's
one.
probably not a connection.
No.
there, but
It's not, but
no,
it
I
could
think
be.
it's neat. Like truly being a king is acting, protecting. And from this moment we're gonna see Theoden trying to redeem himself in a sense.
Yeah.
For these important squandered years.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Back
right.
to you.
The last sentence of the chapter. Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
Eowyn watches all of the guys leave, and she is all by herself.
Yes.
I feel like that was a bad plan
What was it?
because they let Wormtongue know everything, that all of the guys are going to be leaving. And then all of the guys leave, and the
Yeah.
last picture in the chapter
It's not
is-
literally every guy.
Well, yeah, but most everybody. So I don't know if this is supposed to leave us off on just this picture of like most of the war force has gone to fight the war, and that's a good thing, and Eowyn is left behind just to take care of people, and like this is a good and glorious thing, or if this is like Saruman now knows all of them are unprotected.
No.
It's not that
It's
one?
not the latter.
Okay.
It's one of these consecutive hints at Eowyn.
Okay.
Like I say, she's not the main character in this chapter, but she's going to start getting developed more and more.
Okay.
All we know is she's been living, watching Theoden not be who he should be.
Yeah.
And she's a woman, not a man, so she can't go out and fight like Éomer could. And she's being like stalked by Wormtongue during this whole time.
Yeah.
And now you get this sense of longing from her. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go outside and fight beside my uncle as well.
Mhm.
I'm reading some future stuff back into that.
Yeah.
But it is
I can see how it would inform.
she's alone, right?
Yes.
That's the emphasis.
Yeah.
So we see she admires Aragorn, and she's longingly watching the people right away.
Fair enough. And that's where we end in suspense for
Helm's Deep.
the next chapter. It
which
is
a
nowhere
short chapter.
near as long as it is in the movie,
Not
apparently.
even close.
2 pages is the actual battle, or something like that.
Oh, there's a lot of build up to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's maybe 5 pages of actual fighting,
Yeah.
or
So,
of the siege.
not
itself, I
half a
should say.
movie.
no.
for sure.
It's a good chapter.
Okay.
It's a really good chapter.
I will put my hope in that.
Yeah, you ought to.
I will, perhaps.
Great.
And that's where we'll leave it. Next time, chapter 7.
Yeah.
Helm's Deep. And then, yeah, we'll see where it goes from there.
The road to Isengard is the one after that.
They are taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Not
has
the orcs.
changed.
Yes.
But something is taking the hobbits to Isengard, even if we don't know what it is. What?
Int noise.
Why? You forgot your int joke.
No, I'm just going to wait for the perfect moment. I was going to do it in the Treebeard chapter, but now I will wait until a more opportune time.
Yes. Oh, well. See you next time.